Starting with our top story, Air India CEO Campbell Wilson met Prime Minister Modi for a 30-minute meeting following the tragic plane crash. During the discussion, the Prime Minister urged the CEO to extend all possible support to the families of the victims. Anand Singh, my colleague, is joining us at this point in time to talk more about this. Anand, the Prime Minister, of course, wanting to be sure that Air India not only does the post-mortem of why this happened, but also makes sure that the entire fleet which Air India has at this point in time is safe to travel.
Yeah, when you look, today Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself visited the crash site of the Air India AI-171 flight, which was destined to visit London. So clearly, after this tragic air crash, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a word with the Air India chairman, and he mentioned that how several of the planes that Air India is operating, they need to conduct a proper security checks so that no such incident is repeated in the near future. And he also mentioned that beside the post-mortem is being carried out of the victims over here. So clearly he urged that Air India must keep on providing all kind of assistance to all the victim families, and especially the passengers' families who are coming from several far-flung areas to collect the bodies of their nears and dear ones. Back to you, Vinay.
Anand, stay with us. We'll keep coming back to you at this point in time. Vandana Singh, chairperson of the Aviation Cargo Aviation Expert, also joins me on the program to talk about this. Vandana, I've been listening to you and hearing you all day since yesterday and today as well. I know where you stand on this tragedy. The most important thing at this point in time would be for the government and everyone who's related to Air India and the aviation industry, including you, I'm sure, is to make sure, is to corroborate and substantiate that whatever standards Air India has been implementing or not implementing when it comes to flight security and safety are taken a look at again. They are apprised to the government, and if there is something which is lackluster, if there is something which is not being duly performed as a part of their overall duty to be a responsible aviator, it needs to be prosecuted, it needs to be studied, and Air India needs to be held accountable. Vandana.
Vinny, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. It's an honor. Good afternoon once again. And yes, you're hitting the nail. While the prognosis, diagnosis, and everything is being done regarding what exactly happened, the causes, and the black box, the flight data recorder is already has come in, voice recorder is coming in, and everything is going to be constructed as far as the investigation goes as to what happened. Definitely Air India, and I've been saying this for a long time, it is the writing on the wall that better up their game. It's no longer a government airline. They cannot hold the government responsible. A lot of structuring, restructuring, all of it is done and dusted with. Where are the maintenance checks happening? Where are the audits happening? We can order audits and surprise audits on Turkish Airlines or take actions on Celebi. That's fine. That's against the national security, it has to be taken. But having said that, what is Air India doing here? They really need to make sure that they are taking care of everything, the health check of all its equipments, be it Dreamliners, be it any other equipment that they own, has to go through proper checks. We are talking A checks, C checks, D checks. And aircraft which is perhaps 11-year-old, how many A checks were done? That is 300 to 600. Every 300 to 600 hours that the aircraft has flown, there are certain checks to be conducted. Then there is a C check. Then there is a D check. And my question is, which is 12 to 24 months, every 12 to 24 months, complete check of the aircraft. I don't see these things are happening. Air India has to take it very, very seriously, Vineet, because this is a question of human lives. And this is that crash, which is now reminding me of the Chakki Dadri air crash that happened between a Saudi passenger aircraft and another cargo aircraft that came in. that was descending, and so many lives have been lost just like that time. Air India really needs to have its game right there where it needs to be, and there is no time for excuses. I have too many questions on my plate right now to ask from Air India, but I am sure Air India should have the sense and sensibility with the Tata name behind it, the Tata image behind it, that they really up their act. And a Dreamliner is a robust aircraft. I've never heard of a Dreamliner going this way. And we are talking now of FedEx, we are talking of perhaps a bird strike, this and that theory, a lot of software malfunctioning, electrical malfunction, a lot of things we are talking about. But my question is, were the mandatory regulatory checks done on the equipment? And is this the first time that we are hearing it? We are not. A lot of times before that this has happened and is happening. And this is totally unacceptable. Air India needs to answer a lot of questions. Over to you, Vineet.
You're absolutely right, Vandana. And in fact, I'm quite familiar with what happened in Charkhi Dadri. I lost someone very close to me during that incident. But the fact of the matter is that Air India has already had a very fledgling reputation when it comes to upholding its standards. Social media is replete with examples of dissatisfied customers, substandard food, substandard entertainment systems. Their on time schedules have also taken a hit. Do you think all of these anomalies could have also crept into the engineering department as well, because it's only a matter of time before such a culture is passed on, Vandana?
Vineet, you're absolutely right. I am in agreement with you. It's not just a ripple effect. It affects all. Whether you're from housekeeping, you're from engineering, you're from maintenance, you are crew. We see what's happening with the Air India equipment. I've been flying them recently, and we know what the service is. And one of the passengers, you must have heard him yesterday, coming in from New Delhi to Ahmedabad, and the same equipment, the same 787 Dreamliner is the one that took off from Ahmedabad to Gatwick. That same equipment that he came on to Ahmedabad, he said nothing was working inside. It was very hot. Air conditioning was gone. And he was mentioning that electrical failure was there and all of that. Sorry about this. Just a moment, please. I'm just closing this. Sorry. So, having said that, I would like to say that yes, it is very unfortunate that this kind of stuff is happening. The maintenance, the engineering, the entire team out there, I think there is a lackluster effort over there. I think they have to pull up their socks, not just pull up their socks, they have to get their act right. It cannot be that we as a country are suffering because of the duopoly of Air India.
Right. And Vandana, another airline which has met, a very, very unfortunate fate has been Malaysian Airlines. MH370 never found. Nobody knows still what happened to it. Another aircraft of theirs shot down on top of Ukraine. They had to suffer losses in billions. They had to, in fact, rebrand the entire airline, Vandana, and then come back, and still they have not been able, to break even, or for that matter, be profitable and affect their bottom lines. Do you think that, a similar fate awaits Air India if they don't pull up their socks?
You're absolutely right, Vineet, because at this point of time, people have no choice. Even Star Alliance, led by Lufthansa, of which Air India is a part, is actually going to question Air India, because this is one of the world's largest alliance, Star Alliance, and Air India is a Star Alliance member. Having said that, we know what happened to Malaysian Airlines, how much it tried, but it could not bounce back because people were shell-shocked and people were scared to even think about flying on Malaysian Airlines, so the bookings started cancelling. In India, we are a huge country. We can take pride in that the domestic consumption, consumerism is very, very high. But the question is, given another choice, would we fly Air India? I don't think so. I think everybody books all the other carriers, and only when they see the fare difference, or they see that this is working out as per the time, that they are choosing Air India. So Air
There is
India
no fare
better
difference,
watch out.
Vandana. There's no fare difference. If you're flying from Delhi to New York on an American Airlines or an Air India is costlier.
That's another one. But on certain routes, it's not that costlier. It's maybe even, or it's cheaper. But that is not the point here. The point here is, Vineet, as you rightfully said, that Air India might have to pay a very heavy price because its image is going down south. And we cannot come up with excuses after excuses, blame the pilot here, blame engineering here, blame somebody there. Fact is that Air India needs to have its game right. I think there are too many cooks that are spoiling the broth. I think there are too many people inside there, too many decision-making people. It's causing confusion, and people are getting least bothered of what to do. I do not know when this equipment landed from Delhi to Ahmedabad, and the time from Ahmedabad, how much time it was taken to do all these A to Z checks before the flight took off to Gatwick. This is my question. So yes.
Right. Vandana, stay with us.
Yeah.
I have more questions for you, but before that, I'm just going to apprise our viewers of